Good morning, everyone. Myself, Ashu Sharma. I welcome you all in series of Kotlin programming. Today, we will see class and objects, the basic concepts behind this. So here we have a class which is everyone known about this, that it's a blueprint of a runtime entity. It includes data members and the functions. So object is one of its state, and which includes behavior, state, and those identity. So in Kotlin, class declarations consist of a class header and a class body that's surrounded by curly braces. So it's the syntax that behind it, class and class names, and inside this curly bracket we have a class body. Now we have one of these example like Java, that Kotlin allows to create several objects of a class, and you are free to include its class members and the functions. So methods you and you can control the visibility of the class, so members variables, using different keywords as visibility control. So in this follow-up examples, we will create one class and its object through which we will access different data members of that class. So this is an example. So firstly, we have a class with class name, and then this is the data members, that name as variables and a string, which is CSS prints member function. This is a function that print me and you are at. Once it will execute, it will print CSS print. So here is a main function. So we have this to create obj object of my class, and here is the way you just create it, and then call this function, member function, this print me, and once it executes, and finally it will return you are at CSS print. So this is the way. It's very simple. It's quite similar that we have in the Java programming. So you have to just remember the syntax and how to create an object. So val obj, and then the class name followed by parentheses. So this is the syntax, and for the function you use fun, and then the function name followed with the parenthesis pair. So this is the way that you may create an object of a class, and you may access the data members, or you may invoke different functions as per the requirements. Now the next one is the nested class. So nested, we all know the concept that inside the body we have a same that expressions or clause. So we can say it's a class as well. So class inside class, so it's a nested way. By definition, when a class has been created inside another class, then it is called as nested class. So in Kotlin, nested class is by default static. So it can be accessed without creating any object of that class, that we have this rule in Java data strategies. So in the example, we will see how Kotlin interprets that or nested class concept. So this is the function, and here this is calling nested class method. So other.nested and demo as this is string demo. So here we have a class outer, then inside this there is a class nested and function foo. So welcome to the CSS sprints, and once it is just invoked, then it prints welcome to the CSS sprint. So class inside the class, definitely we have this nested mode of just using the function and invoking the functions to print that outcome. So by default, this is very important question for MCQ point of view, that nested class is by default static. So you don't need while creating any object, you may just directly using that calling nested class method, and simply you print that outcome. So the next one is very important, is inner class. When a nested class is marked as inner, then it will be called an inner class, and inner class can be accessed by the data member of the outer class. So in the following example, we will accessing the data member of the outer class. So here we have a function main, and this is that calling nested class method. So foo is the nested class method as we have this, and we put this inner before this class nested. So once you put that inner, it will be called an inner class. So inner class nested and function welcome message. So here is function foo, and finally here we have a class outer. So welcome message is welcome to the CSS sprints. So finally it prints that welcome to the CSS sprints. So this is the way it just use that outer dot nested dot foo. So this foo is having this welcome message, as this private val inside this. Once you print this, a string value will be this assigned to this is given to be print. So welcome to the CSE sprints. So inner class concept is very, very simple. Once you put inner before this in the nested one, so it becomes inner class, and inner class can be accessed by the data member of the outer class. So this is very important to remember. And next one is anonymous, which is unknown. You may say that anonymous inner class. So anonymous inner class is pretty good concepts. It makes the life of a programmer very easy. And whenever we are implementing an interface that we have done in Java as well, so the concept of anonymous inner block class comes into picture. So the concept of creating an object of interface using runtime object reference is known as anonymous class. So you have to create an object of interface using runtime object reference. In the following example, we will create an interface and we'll create an object of that interface using anonymous inner class mechanism. So here is a main function. This is object human creating an instance of the interface here, and then it overrides. So overriding is the concept which comes under that and inheriting. So the think method, and print this I am an example of an anonymous inner class. So here we have interface human, so human creating an instance of that, and programmer.think. So think is called and it brings that outcome. I am an example of anonymous inner class. So here we have an interface human. Here another function that inside this is think. And once we have this think function, we create an instance of human interface. So here instance is created, and finally it just programmer is the instance, and finally programmer.think, it brings that outcome. I am an example of anonymous inner class. So this is very, very important concept, and try to remember that. Wonderful to see that anything which is the concept of creating an object of interface using runtime object reference is known as anonymous class. So next one is the type alias. That type alias are a property of Kotlin compiler that provides the flexibility of creating a new name of an existing type. So it does not create a new type. If the type name is too long, you can easily introduce a shorter name and use the same for future uses. So if that name is long enough, then you have to create a shorter name. And type alias is really helpful for complex types. So in the latest version, Kotlin revoked the support for type alias. If you are using an old version of Kotlin, you may have used it like the following. So type alias are property of Kotlin compiler, and it provides the flexibility of creating a new name to an existing type. If name is so long, you may have that shorter name option. So type alias node set set network.node, and this is the way that mutable map and mutable list file. So later stages we will use such concepts during the time of that Kotlin and the development of Android application. So thank you very much. If you like these videos, please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so you may get the notification of the latest uploaded video. And wonderful to see that your suggestions and support. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.